Okay, so first off, that's crazy. Didn't know that was in the song. I remember when we first met you, you played us a bunch of beats, and this was one of them. You Should Be Mine, and we were immediately like, that's the one we need to do.
I do remember that we were like, we want something like a little bit Michael Jackson-esque, and you were like, bro, I got you.
I got so excited.
Yeah, you were like, let's go.
I was like, wait, so y'all like are literally one of the most amazing dancers I've ever seen, and y'all want Michael Jackson? Like, what dream come true? When y'all said the MJ thing, I was like, yo, okay, this is my chance to like really tap in. My uncle was the bass player for a lot of the MJ stuff. I mean, literally like 90% of the bass lines you hear on any Michael Jackson record. The history behind that is they were in the group called the Brothers Johnson. They were signed to Quincy Jones. That was their start. So kind of growing up in that, I've always wanted to, you know, tap into that a little bit, and obviously do not try to compare myself at all to these greats, but I am inspired by it. You know what I mean? I can't help it.
We played the second EP all for Keone, and we saved You Should Be Mine for the last one we were playing it for him, because we were like, this is the one, because he loves MJ, and we're like, as soon as we turned it on, he just started grooving, and like, when you get dancers dancing immediately, you know the production's in a good place.
For sure.
Could you take us through and like show us what your process was?
So my dad, a lot of times what he would do in his productions, he was known for like layering 7 or 8 guitar parts and like panning them left to right and doing all this kind of stuff, while my uncle would hold it down on the slap bass. His stuff was super melodically driven, but like really percussive at the same time. And so that was kind of like the inspiration. Of course, the foundation was already there with the splice loop, and I just kind of expanded on it a little bit. I started kind of like with the guitars, but like it was like different guitars. I think like the first 2 were his solid body Les Paul, and the other 2 were his hollow body. I'm using all my dad's guitars and basses, by the way, which is cool. For me, it's like a spiritual thing, getting the energy in there. I think I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guitar parts, because the original sample had these parts. Then I added, you know, it's piano and Rhodes. You know, it's just recreating the loop, right? But I added those hits and all. And this was like my real piano, by the way. I have an upright piano at home, a Yamaha. So yeah, I added that with the Rhodes. This is a JD800 patch. This is literally my favorite patch in the world on, you know, 90s keyboard. I use this on like every song I ever do if I can. Just a little vibe, nothing crazy, just a little, you know.
It's always those like little nuggets in songs that make them so special, I feel like.
I mean, and then of course, you know, you gotta add the drums. Sure. The drums were kind of like inspired by the 2000s Timbo. This is that famous Timberland kick from Planet Fat. Yeah. That's the actual kick from that. And I like resampled it through an ASR 10 and, you know, did all this. And then again, taking a note out of him and John Marie's book, actually. John Marie is also an amazing mix engineer that mixed like MJ, all kind of shit. Like having multiple kicks do different hits instead of having one kick do all the hits, create like a different kind of energy and feeling. So that's what I did here to get it to move. Each kick is slightly tuned different. You have an 808, this kick, you know, even kind of imitating an actual drum kit. Also, shout out Bink, another legendary producer. I mean, it's not new at this point, but just years of being a fly on the wall. And learning to put it all together. It's my little bass. Went to this little breakdown. This is like my homage to my pops and my uncle, and I just had a chance to get real funky with it. Kind of, you know, stuff panning left and right.
Crazy.
That bass is so important, dude. And that's all you.
Crazy.
Yeah, you can put it all together with the tempo elements and everything, all that I love. And you get this little funky moment. It just makes you want to dance.
It's crazy how this was our first session together.
Crazy.
That's like, insane, actually.
Yeah, it was insane. I remember that first session, you guys talked about elevating the sound. And, you know, you guys had been obviously been releasing amazing music and doing all this stuff. And it was like you guys kind of wanted to tap into another version.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we kind of did it, and this was like the
yeah.
start, and then there's more that that they're gonna hear that's like crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna keep evolving. You know what I mean? And hopefully everybody loves it as much as we love it. No man, it's great vibes, man.
Yeah.
Always great vibes with y'all. I love y'all so much.
Love you too, radio.
It's great
Thank you,
energy
bro.
always, man.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, 'cause you said I'm here.
I'm here. Where you at? How's everybody doing? It's Full Circle Boys, Sean, James, and we got writer extraordinaire Jack Newsome with us. He helped us write You Should Be Mine, and we're going to talk about the writing process and some of the vocals. This is the first session we did with radio. We'd worked with you a little bit, but this was still pretty early on in our writing process. I mean, we're still early on. The journey's long. We're They're
just
just
getting
babies. But we went into this session having this production nearly all the way there. I remember we started off the session, kicked it off with some melody passes, and already baked into the song was that melody.
Yeah, and we had the You Should Be Mine, and then in the chorus I was like, what if we list out different ways that you could be mine?
I think in my initial melody pass, what I was saying was, you should be mine every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the phrase, I was saying, you should be mine all of the time. You should be mine all of the time. Within the first minute or two, like, you took that idea and you're like, okay, where are we going to go with
Ran
this?
away.
Yeah. How can we elevate this?
He's like, I'm going to start dissecting
Yeah.
this and making it a whole thing. And you were like, I thought it was going to be this. But the Nashville storytelling part of it, I wanted to, like, hone in on and be like, okay, let's make a story.
Something really cool about like melody passes and like when we're writing together. I know when I think of melodies or ideas, like I'm pretty headstrong about it, but it's really awesome to express the idea as it's being formed so that it can be molded.
Well, that's the thing with groups. It's like you can't be too precious any moment. You can be like, I care a lot about this, but like when everything is being put to a committee all the time, it's like you have to be like, I know I like this. If someone else comes in with these two other things and they're fire, the most fire in the room wins, which is like equally awesome and sometimes like maddening, but it's cool.
You ever get overwhelmed with 7 of us in a room? Because like we're just like spitting ideas at you. Like does that ever...
Doing recorded passes was the only way to do this. It commits everything to audio, and then it's like, then you can play real Tetris. Working with you guys has changed how I work in general, in like a really good way.
Let's break down some vocals. Let's get into it.
Must be how you say my name, that sound is so lovely. I won't talk the talk, I'm a little missed.
Talk the talk.
Just for people that know, like, Jack cut this demo. When we went in to record the final version, something that's awesome is that his voice sounds like it could be in our group. So, like, there's harmonies that are still you. I remember specifically for that pre-chorus harmony, that was Mike's idea.
The spot harms.
Yeah.
Talk, talk.
Yeah. What we ended up doing is put the spotty ones on the first pre-chorus and the layered one on the second pre-chorus.
Cool. So the first pre is...
I won't talk the talk, I'm a little messed up inside your eyes. If we're gonna go walk the walk,
And the second one is...
I won't talk the talk,
Yeah.
I'm a little messed up inside your eyes.
It really is the little things like that, and your brain doesn't really... They're like, I've heard this part before, but not the same way. It's cool. The little... There's like all the MJ and like...
Those sound effects are not me. When I recorded it, I thought it was a stylistic choice to not do them, but it just sounded empty.
That was Jagger's.
I think so.
That is my
He was in the studio like...
I won't talk the talk, I'm a little messed up inside your eyes.
Sometimes
If
you
we're
gotta...
gonna go walk the walk.
What are those little...
That's Jagger. He's singing the chorus melody.
Ooh, with a phaser! Love. I don't know if you noticed this in doing the... But there's something about it keeping your timing. I do those in the demos to stay on the beat. A producer at any moment, if they don't like a... They can just nix it. In the same way that sometimes we give more because it's easier to pull back later on.
You should be swaying hips, fall in love with the two-step. Don't you know that you should be on the sand by the beach for the sunset every weekend.
Pedal tone!
You
Find
came
that
up with
pad.
this so fast. I remember watching you and being like, how in the world is he...
Oh, that's smooth. I'm gonna go take a dive real quick. Is that a major 6? The way that we just do it and we don't know what it's called.
I was like, don't point the camera.
You're like.
Every weekend I could see left hand up.
I could see. We got counter melodies.
Right.
What do you know about counter melodies?
I won't talk the talk.
Who's beatboxing?
That's me.
Yes!
I can't beatbox, but Mike, like, put all that together. That was me. That was
That's
literally
awesome.
me.
I need video of you doing the beatbox stat.
It was,
You should be swaying hips for.
Hey! Oh my god, last chorus.
That was fun.
The last chorus gang vocals were so fun.
You should be
Hey!
swaying hips for. Don't you know that you should be on the sand by the beach for the sunset?
And then of course,
Every
oh.
weekend I can see
Oh!
left hand up, middle finger, mine.
Ooh, hard out at the
yeah,
end.
I wanted, like, the song to, like, just finish really tight. Just to go back to the writing again, like, I can't believe that chorus, that there was a time that we didn't say you should be, and then the things we're doing.
The simplest things are the hardest. Like, half the time you, like, kind of spin yourself out on a concept, and then all it takes is someone in the room being like, that section of what you just said can be totally dissected and opened up, used in 86 different ways.
Any of the kids watching, if you ever get a chance to write with the writer with the Nashville background, always say yes.
Nashville!
Do not say no. Say yes. You're gonna learn something. You're gonna learn something.
I'm Dossan Bell, Full Circle Boy, and we're here with mixing and mastering engineer Mike Seaberg and our producer for You Should Be Mine Radio. Mike, do you want to just go through, like, what was the process of it? Because I know with radio, I feel like with your production, you're a little bit more grunge with it. Like, I know you love to add, like, distortion on your kicks and stuff.
Yes.
And your whole job is like, how do I make this clean?
The reason I love radio's production is because it has that attitude, right?
Yeah.
And it's not that the attitude's bad. It's that, like, okay, what are we trying to do with this mix? You're a boy band, so, like, we're trying to go a little bit more pop. If radio gave me production for a different artist, maybe the grunge is, I would lean more into the grunge and bring the grunge out more. But for this one, I wanted to clean it up while retaining the that character that he added. If you've ever seen a Jason Joshua masterclass, he's my mentor, so he taught me how to mix. My workflow and how to approach a record in terms of the overall process is pretty similar. I always start with the drums. Got that radio groove.
Got that radio groove.
So we got, like, the kicks here. We got Orion working its magic.
Nice.
Hey, shout out Ryan. Let's go.
I mean, it's doing a lot of heavy lifting here.
Yeah.
And then back on. Yeah, that's huge.
It's just like
That's
bringing
huge.
bringing all the drums to attention. Adding these low end harmonics are crucial.
What I love about Orion, which is crazy, is like you could throw it on as a preset and it's gonna automatically make it sound amazing.
For sure.
Yeah.
But everyone can personalize it and use it in different ways.
And we see a lot of people use the God particle similarly. The use cases for Orion are, like, way more diverse and way out there. For example, I turned off the drive section on Orion for these drums because they were already driven on radio side. So, like, adding all that extra color on top of that was just way too much.
Mike and I have been working together for a long time, so I'll try to anticipate, like, where he might want to go. It is challenging to add, like, flavor and vibes and whatever
For sure.
sometimes,
Yeah.
like, after the fact. So sometimes I'll go intentionally overboard knowing that it's going to his hands.
We know the nickname for Mike. Mike is known as the V1 Master. It doesn't happen every time, but the level of attention to detail is so high. But that's what I love about you, Mike.
I appreciate
That's
those
what I love
kind
about.
words.
That's
yeah.
why I love Mike Seaberg.
But yeah, I think that the big part about approaching the drums on this record were to, like, we wanted to maintain that groove. I didn't want to be too bass heavy. A lot of those top end percussions, like, the specific level of every single layer is super important.
You have that with all of their vocals. You have, like, everyone has a very specific vocal tone.
100%. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Did you have a challenge, kind of like bridging the two worlds?
Maybe in the past, yes, but, like, we've done so much together now that it's sort of, like, just on autopilot. And since we record everything together too, like, everyone will do every part.
As long as you can
to
sing
as
it, you
to
know?
as much as you can. Like if you
Yeah.
can't do the part, then you're not gonna sing the part.
There's like a thing. It's like if we know someone else is gonna do it way better, and
Yeah.
it's not in our range, we're like, okay,
Okay.
we don't
Yeah.
want it because we don't want to waste time. We don't want to waste your time.
But we try to
Yeah.
give everyone like a shot, and then what happens is we have all the vocals of everyone singing the parts that they can sing, and then I'll go time, tune, comp each of their takes, and then decide okay what works best for which part.
So you put in the work on every single one of our.
Yeah, that's why it takes so long for
Oh
me to
my
send you back
God.
and stuff. We also have like the rhythm guitar right here,
Mm.
and
I
that's
didn't really even know that was in there.
it's these rhythmic guitars that are driving.
What's funny with this one too is I remember because Jack killed the demo so well that we were like so picky about it. With this one we had 5 mixes. We went to V5, which is like very unusual for us. It was more of our like vocal performance that we were concerned about, and then just getting the right fill between vocals and track, and like that level of like how much do we want to fill the track and how much do we want to fill the vocals.
I just want to spotlight
Yeah.
some more radio chords.
My auto-tune piano.
But the out of tune makes it. You know,
Yeah,
it gives
right?
it
No,
gives
it's
it
the,
the
it's
character.
the little things.
Just all these layers. Do we want to play like unmixed vocals? Like do
Sure,
you want to
let's
see
hear,
it before
yeah.
now? So this would be James like
Dry.
prior to dry, no reverb delay, no compression, no EQ, nothing.
Must be how you say my name that sounded so lovely.
You know, so it's a clean signal. But obviously, you know, you wanna add that magic on top of it. So
Must be how you say my
Yeah.
name
you know,
that
so
sounded
really
so
pulls it forward.
lovely.
I am compressing the out of it.
It
It just, you know, given the production and you know, you guys being a pop group, it just felt right. I mean, we got like this gang.
You should be.
Who is all singing that? I've always wondered that.
I mean, we got
How many-
James,
You should be.
James.
Jagger,
You should be.
Sean,
You should be.
And Ollie.
and Ollie.
You should be.
Wow.
And then it just comes together really nicely.
You should be.
But yeah, I guess in terms of this vocal chain specifically for the song, you know, we just got a pretty general low cut, getting rid of the subbiness from the vocal booths. The classic LA2A 1176 duo for the compression.
You should be.
Multi-band compression with the 404. And I really like this
Wow.
high frequency band on the MC404. Doing some crazy EQ stuff, just getting rid of a bunch of
You should
Gotta do what you
be.
gotta
basically like a, I don't know, sort of like a tilt, you know, adding more air in with the Slate Fresh Air, CLA vocals for the compression.
Okay, so you kind of completed everything, put all the vocals on, and you VQ'd everything. Final mix. What do you put on there? Are you slapping on the God particle?
Oh yeah,
or-
yeah. The main difference for everyone that's gonna be here is it's just gonna sound lower.
Yeah.
And then
So first let's mix it.
little tiny differences here. And then this is a big difference.
Then the God particle.
So basically what we went from the original demo,
Wow.
this was the original demo, and then going to the mix.
When you start mixing, do you have the God particle on? 'Cause
Yes,
the whole time.
the whole time.
At
I
a
always
really
want to
good
mix
place.
into it, but the OTT and the mix head were afterthoughts.
Okay.
So it's just like, I'll never do anything heavy after the fact, but it's just like little tiny things. It's just like, it needs a little bit more of this, like overall.
This is for the nerds. Well, there you have it. That was You Should Be Mine, Full Circle Boys with Mike Seaberg and Radio.